Breaking news. U.S. military flexes might as China eyes the Pacific. These headlines flash across screens worldwide, stirring tension and uncertainty. Warships churn through the Pacific, while fighter jets roar overhead in tight formation. Commanders bark orders, sailors sprint to their posts. Every move sharp and rehearsed. Tensions rise in the Indo-Pacific as the US and allies respond to China's growing power. Around the world, anxious faces watch, sensing that everything is about to change. The United States isn't waiting for threats to reach its shores. American forces are moving fast, setting up bases and strengthening ties with old friends. Australia's strategic location makes it a key partner. Troops are landing in Darwin, fighter jets launching from hidden runways, and warships crowding northern ports. American and Australian flags fly side by side as troops prepare for their mission, focused and determined. The lines between local and foreign forces are blurring as they work together, united by a common goal. Why such a show of force? The answer is simple: deterrence. The United States wants China to think twice before making any aggressive moves. It's about showing what could happen if war ever breaks out. Enormous bombers are circling high above. Submarines are prowling beneath the waves, silent and unseen. The weapons on display are some of the most powerful ever built. Stealth fighters, missile destroyers, and advanced drones are filling the air and sea. Each machine is a warning. Any attack will be met with overwhelming firepower. Soldiers are practicing loading missiles, running through drills with quiet confidence. There are speeches too. American generals speak of peace through strength. They remind the world that the US military is ready to defend its friends and its values. But the message is also for China: don't test our resolve. We don't want war, one admiral says, but we are ready for it. Australia's own leaders echo those words. Their message is clear: Australia will not stand alone. Together with the United States and other allies, they are building a shield made of people, technology, and determination. It is 5 o'clock in the morning. The sun is just a hint on the horizon. Suddenly the silence breaks. Jets are screaming overhead, and the ground shakes as tanks thunder across dirt roads. The air is thick with the smell of fuel and sweat. Soldiers are shouting to each other over the roar of engines. The drills are more than practice. They are preparation for the unthinkable. On the beaches, Marines storm ashore from landing craft. Their boots hit the sand in perfect rhythm. Helicopters hover just above the waves, dropping ropes for commandos to slide down. In the distance, artillery booms echoing across the water. Every move is timed, coordinated, rehearsed again and again. From the decks of warships, sailors are watching the horizon. Radar screens glow in the dark, tracking every movement. Orders are crisp, routines are tight. There is just no room for mistakes. Every day, new drills, air raids, missile launches, medical emergencies. The tempo is relentless because the stakes are so high. Reporters wearing helmets and flak jackets describe the action in real time. The noise is incredible, one says, voice barely audible over the chaos. This is what readiness looks like. This is how you prepare for war and hope you never have to fight it. Inside a command tent, maps cover the walls and generals gather around, their faces set with determination. They speak quietly, but their words carry a lot of weight. Our responsibility is clear, says Admiral John Stevens, a senior United States commander. We are here to keep the peace, to protect our allies, and to be ready for anything. The commanders emphasize the importance of teamwork. No one nation can do this alone, says an Australian general. We stand together, shoulder to shoulder. They talk about readiness, not just in weapons, but in minds and hearts. Every soldier, sailor, and pilot is trained for crisis. There is pride, but also humility. We know the cost of war, Admiral Stevens says. Our job is to make sure no one ever has to pay that price again. The mood is, well, serious. Leaders check radios, issue new orders, and remind their troops that every drill, every exercise really matters. They also speak about the burden of command. Every decision here could have global consequences, one commander admits. That's a heavy weight, but it's a weight we have to carry. As the sun sets, the command tent glows with quiet purpose, a small hub of calm in a world bracing for trouble. As we zoom out, the chessboard of the Indo-Pacific comes into focus. The South China Sea is a crossroads, one of the busiest shipping lanes in the world. Trillions of dollars in trade pass through these waters every year. Whoever controls the sea controls the flow of goods, energy, and information. China has built artificial islands here, turning reefs into military outposts. Radar domes, runways, missile batteries. These are not just claims on a map, they're facts on the ground. Nearby, Taiwan stands as a symbol of democracy and independence. Beijing calls it a breakaway province. Washington promises to defend it. Military planners call this the first island chain, a line of defense stretching from Japan, through Taiwan, to the Philippines, and beyond. Every inch matters. Every move is watched by satellites, drones, and ships. The region is crowded, tense, and full of risk. If conflict ever comes, the first shots could be fired here. That is why so much attention is focused on these waters. Control means power. Power means security, or the threat of war. The world's eyes are fixed on the South China Sea and Taiwan, knowing that what happens here could change everything. This is not the warfare of old. Drones sweep the skies, sending live video back to command centers. Unmanned submarines lurk beneath the waves, listening for enemy ships. Satellites blink overhead, tracking every movement in real time. The technology is advanced, fast, and always evolving. On the flight decks, pilots climb into F-35 stealth fighters, their helmets glowing with digital displays. These jets can strike targets hundreds of miles away, unseen until it's too late. On the ground, robotic vehicles resupply troops, while AI systems scan for threats. Every piece of gear is smarter, deadlier, and more connected. The United States is not alone in this race. Australia, too, is investing in new technology. Long-range missiles, cyber defense, and surveillance drones. The goal is to stay ahead, to make sure any fight is on their terms. Technology is our edge, says an Australian defense expert. It's what keeps us safe. But with every advance comes a new risk. The faster the weapons, the smaller the warning. The more connected the systems, the greater the danger of cyber attacks. The Indo-Pacific is now a testing ground for the future of conflict, where innovation could mean survival. High-level talks take place behind closed doors. American and Australian officials speak of unity, strength, and shared values. We are committed to a free and open Indo-Pacific, says a U.S. diplomat. Our alliances are our greatest asset. They praise the cooperation, the training, the readiness that comes from working together. Chinese officials, meanwhile, see things differently. The United States is provoking instability, says a spokesperson for China's Ministry of Foreign Affairs. We urge all countries to respect our sovereignty and stop interfering in regional matters. For Beijing, the military buildup looks less like defense and more like a threat. Australian politicians walk a careful line. They want security but also stability. Our future depends on peace in the region, one minister says. We must be strong, but we must also talk. Military experts, meanwhile, warn that miscommunication could lead to disaster. Every move is watched, every word weighed. Local voices add to the chorus. Some Australians support the alliance, trusting the US to keep them safe. Others worry about becoming a target. We're caught in the middle, says one resident near a new base. We want peace, but we can't ignore the danger. The debate is intense, reflecting a nation on edge. As night falls, the Pacific seems calm, but beneath the surface, tension remains. The military buildup is about more than just weapons or alliances. It is about the future. For Australia, this is a test of loyalty, courage, and vision. For the United States, it is a promise kept to allies. For China, it is a challenge to its rise. Peace is not just the absence of war. It is hard work, constant vigilance, and open dialogue. Leaders know what is at stake: the safety of millions, the freedom of the seas, the trust between nations. If we get this wrong, says an American admiral, the consequences will echo for generations. The risk of conflict is real. A single mistake, a misunderstanding, could trigger a crisis. Both sides know this. That is why the drills continue, the talks go on, and the world watches with hope and fear. The Pacific is a stage, and the whole world is the audience. What happens next will decide the shape of the century. Australia stands at the center, its choices mattering more than ever. The challenge is clear. Keep the peace, protect the future, and make sure that the drums of war never drown out the voices calling for calm.